Cat sex is back on the menu, boys. Can I start a video like that? Did I just get instantly demonetized? Mewgenics isn't a game I thought would hook me so hard. Yes, I have been a lifelong Super Meat Boy fan, and I have dabbled a little bit in that crying Twitch emote game. I was familiar with Edmund McMillan, I respected him from afar, but I wasn't exactly waiting with bated breath for Feline Fire Emblem. I completed my first run, I thought, yeah, it's definitely made by the Binding of Isaac guy. It's cool that they added the Mario movie rat, but whatever. Did a second run, I beat Fenrir on like round 12, and I started to question if I should really keep playing this game or go back to procrastinating on making a Deltarune video. Then I did a third run, and honestly, for no particular reason, the catnip kicked in and I was locked and hooked. A Ren and Stimpy nightmare fever dream of ultra-violence, bodily fluids, crass humor, 80s, 90s pop culture references, and lots of cat jokes, all experienced in about 2 to 3 hour chunks of time. The game is a mechanical and artistic powerhouse of creativity and genuinely deserves to be revered as one of the best tactics games ever made, or dare I say, one of the best games ever made, period. And it just happens to be about feline fellatio. I can say that, right? Like, that's fine. Conker says it, that means it's fine, right? I completely understand now, Ed and Tyler. I get it. Please add in more enemies that eat and insta-kill your cats. I beg you. We do support vor fetishism in this house. Hey guys, Editor Jacob here. No, we don't. We don't support that. This is like the worst intro to a video ever. Please don't stop watching. I swear he gets better later on, I promise. Pick up to 4 cats, assign them classes that give them specific abilities, then pick a set of levels to play through, survive round events, combat encounters, find treasure, beat bosses, return home with stronger cats to add to your gene pool, lots of violence, lots of poop for some reason, rinse and repeat. Wow. It's an RPG, you know what to expect. The gameplay loop on a macro level doesn't exactly reinvent the wheel in terms of overall design. But at its core, what makes Gen Mewix so special is its dedication to both long-term and short-term decision making. Yes, in essence, the game is just a Newgrounds Flash animation version of Into the Breach. But each run in-game plays out an entire RPG from start to finish. Literally with an early, mid, late, and post-game chapter, each balanced to focus on the player being a certain level with certain abilities at each one. It's an entire Fire Emblem game packed into an hour or 2 run. Each time you build your squad of cats, you're basically given a brand new XCOM game to experience start to finish. So of course, the decisions you make early on what abilities to have are going to play a major part in how you tackle the later game areas. And you'll quickly see the consequences of late game abilities and how utterly insane they can be. From mages that can buff themselves and attack 6 to 7 times in a turn and keep on stacking more attacks, an army of clone mini-cats with sniper rifles sniping and one-shotting everything in their path, another army but of flaming buffed squirrels cornering one of the most annoying bosses in the game, building a literal nuke to wipe out the battlefield, lots of farting, like a lot of poop and pee, like a lot, which are used for a multitude of different mechanics and abilities. Bodily fluids are genuinely a gameplay device in this game, but the game doesn't quite have the same novelty that the Death Stranding asynchronous multiplayer players pee on the same rock to make mushrooms to attract bugs that heal you mechanic that game has. So I'm gonna have to give it to Kojima on the best PP game design award for this one, but you'd be surprised on the different synergies, uses, and utility that peeing your own pants brings to the table in this game. There is no limit to the absurdities this game will let you do and ask you to endure. The goal of the game never ever changes. Kill everything in this room. That's it. That's all you gotta do every time. But you literally have an infinite number of ways to fight whatever rat, cat, fat, pack enemy that stands in your way. And alternatively, the game has an infinite number of mechanical combinations to change how that fight will play out. Always the same start and end points, but how we get there is different without fail every single run and every single time you play. Okay. Who cares? Wow, it's a roguelike crazy. Oh my gosh, they all do that. It's been a thing for like a decade now. Just because it has cats doesn't make it special, dude. Jeez. Jarvis, report this channel for terrorism and then play Northern Lion Balacho streams.
Oh, legendary Perkio dipped in Mama Liz's Chili oil?
What's different here is the successful completion of each run results in the continuation of your cat lineage, and where the eugenics part of Mewgenics comes in. Yes, performing eugenics is crucial to the game. Now get into the test tube or replacing your tail with a tennis racket. The only way you're going to get good cats is to survive the gauntlet you put them through and then pass their stats on to their kids. Build tough pussy cats and then have those pusses pass down those gotta be tough genes to make stronger, smarter, faster, sometimes ridden with BPD feline fighters. Where most roguelites have some sort of meta progression based on continuous playtime, winning or not, and most roguelikes have less forgiving meta system progression and focus entirely on just the individual runs itself. Binding of Catzic splits the difference. The runs give you better stat cats for your home, and your cat hoarding home life determines what cats you take on your adventures. Both gameplay sides feeding into each other and pushing the idea further of short-term decisions turning into long-term consequences and vice versa. Oh, this cat's pretty good. He's got some good stats. I think we'll keep him and we'll make him a breeder. A simple decision like that can then lead to impacts on your gene pool 10, 20, 40, 50 plus hours down the road. I am still getting abilities, passive disorders, mutations from cats literally 10 or more generations ago. Get cat, make cat, use cat for warfare, bring cat home. The scars of war haunt you for dozens upon dozens, if not hundreds of hours as your family tree begins to have the same shit smirk, round face, mutations, and disorders. I might have a small inbreeding problem. So, a couple dozen hours into the game, I pick up a cat named Ryan, who just so happens to share the name of one of my best friends, Ryan. And this wonderfully smug feline proceeded to have sex with everything in the house, all of the time. He was an okay cleric, I guess, but he wasn't that good to have all of his genes everywhere. I kept him for so long until he died of old age, in honor of being named after my favorite ex-Rainbow Six Siege partner, but he just couldn't control his libido, man. Just like real life, heyo. I'm sorry, Ryan. I love you, man. Actually, I lied. I don't love you, because like 40 hours after Ryan the cat passed away from old age, I found that his shit-eating, grin, smug face is on like half of my cats. Every single family tree I have leads back to him. All of them. 10 generations later, and he's still smugly looking at me at all times. Yeah, all my cats kind of look the same and most sound the same. So, yeah, inbreeding, am I right? Guys, incest is not wincest. Oh god, this video. Maybe I should tone it down a notch. And now I'm going to talk a bit about the areas and story of the game now, so please go play the game first. I'm really going to start spoiling stuff. Seriously, it's something really special, and the surprises it has in store must be seen through your own eyes. That being said, after over 100 hours of playtime and it becoming my most played game on Steam ever, I don't really play on PC that much, okay? I can confidently say that the game is a masterpiece, and that is all because of my boy, Nathan.
Oh, I tell you what, meow.
From alleyways to junkyards to hell to space to the future to the dinosaur age through chaos itself all the way up to the end of the world. Not only are the locations aesthetically diverse, but each one holds unique environmental conditions, enemies, layouts, mechanics, and their own little quirks and challenges with a unique map layout, hard path rewards, different bosses, etc, etc. Meow, meow. With 12,558 possible random names for your cat to be assigned, the vastly different playstyles each of the 15 classes and class mixing offers, the 100 upon hundreds of items to build your cat warriors to their maximum hairball potential, it's endless. Meow. The game is endless. It's quite literally endless amount of combinations. The game's amount of content can be played forever. And in a world of finite time and endless possibilities, I'm glad I got to share it with you, Bepsi, and Banyo, and Space Ghost, and Fat Man, Tomar, Zuzichu, Vinyl Scratch, Burf Defict, Socrates, Slurpee, Sonic, Big Boat, Mario, and especially you, Nathan. Not you, Ryan. And with these infinite combinations of aesthetics, mechanics, and synergies are 18 areas that can be played for dozens upon dozens, if not hundreds of hours each. Each act feels like a full game within its own right. Each act holds 6 distinctly different areas, and even myself spending triple digits in the game, I'm still seeing new things in areas I've spent a couple weeks of full-time employment in. Similar to Silksong, Act 1 feels like it sets the stage and introduces the player to its world and mechanics. Act 2 pushes those mechanics and absurdity to what you think is its limit, and then the surprise secret Act 3 twists, remixes, and goes off the deep end with its mechanical and artistic design. And there are some real mean motherfuckers in Act 3. Pterodactyls that pick you up and carry you away, robots that surplex you and then give other units endless turns, lasagna flopping. Lord Bunga's basic attack literally gives you brain damage and he eats your cats? Fucking spewer, dude? God, I hate that boss. Hitler? Act 3 really does feel like you played this game for far too long, so now it's time for a soul level 1, no armor, no upgrade run, just to feel something again part of the game. It's brutal, fast, not for the faint of heart, and there's a lot of naked people rolling around.
Meow.
See, what I've been noticing is watching other people play the game in clips online and chatting with my friend Clint, who's also playing through it, and is also the person who bought the game for me as an early birthday present. Thank you, Clint. This is the 4th game you've bought for me that I'm covering on the channel, so I maybe should consider giving you some of the ad revenue or something, huh? Anyway, so seeing other people playing the game, it's instantly apparent that it feels like every person is playing a fundamentally different experience from each other. Sure, we do all fight the same 16 rotund inches of pure cannibalistic kitty, and sure, we all have the same colored flossing cats, but each player's family trees, their run decisions, what the game gives you to deal with, items, cat stats, cat aesthetics, it's all completely different and tailored to the individual player. Not to mention the differences on how you can play the game. Progression in the game is based really on what you want to do, how you want to do it, and when you're willing to trade in your fur babies for upgrades. I've seen solo cat runs like whatever this guy is doing with his Tinkerer, or a druid that covers the entire map with bear traps, or whatever is going on with this dude. Am I bad at this game? How are they doing this? I reached Act 3 in about 30 hours, my buddy Clint took 50. But on the flip side, it took me about 80 hours to reach the 2nd food upgrade, and by the time I got the 3rd, Clint already had his 5th food upgrade and maxed out Tink. Under about 40 hours for him, I think. He just got his 3rd house upgrade, and I'm still on my 2nd. We have the same amount of hours, and he hasn't even done the future yet, but his Tracy is at like 19, and mine is at like 6. He runs Thief and the Tinkster a lot, which I never use, but he never touches Psychic or Monk, which are classes that I love. We unlocked the Rift at the same time, both of us taking about 85 hours to do it. More on why I took so long to do it later. He hasn't even been to the 2nd half of Act 3 yet, and his house is another room over mine? Why? It's because, again, everyone who plays the game has a different experience. He gets rid of cats like there's no tomorrow, so he gets house upgrades quicker. These crazy freakazoids doing the solo cat runs are min-maxing the game and their gene pools to a degree I could never do. And I like to constantly do runs every day and keep cats, and I kind of neglect the breeding part of the game more than I probably should. I still have like double the achievements over Clint, and I've beaten every area of Act 1 with every single class, and I'm almost done with Act 2, so I'm the better player. It doesn't matter if my cats starve to death like every other day and their family tree is a circle. I beat boss more, so I'm more smarter than Clint. I am not bad at this game. My cats are so inbred from Ryan's sexual tyranny that out of like 70 cats, they practically all meow the same and have the same round face and smug smile. And I love them. There is nothing wrong with that. The pets you keep and grow attached to and how their lineage impacts your game is all personally tailored to each player playing. Much like getting a cat in real life, you never fully know the quirks that little goofball will have and how much they're going to mean to you. The adventures you go on, the rat massacres you commit. And then when your time is up with them, you sell them to the creepy scientist down the street or the creepy sausage guy underground. Your cats are currency. On top of all the other features we've talked about, the cats themselves are part of an economy of macro game progression and upgrades. From warriors to offspring to the money directly in your wallet. You're the local crazy cat hoarding lady and a military general and a local neighborhood cat dealer. What cats you acquire, whether through breeding or strays or just happy little dudes joining your adventures, are actually what you use to upgrade your house, your storage, your cat food, and gain special side quests that twist and remix how you play the game. Everything in the game is linked together. Everything. Every system, every mechanic, every name, meow, bite, stab, hairball, poop, it's all connected together. The visuals and artistic choices like the thousands of names, infinite number of cat combinations, and hundreds of voice actors for the meows add to the personal touch of the game, and the cavalcade of combat mechanics, movement options, items, buffs, debuffs, status conditions, bloodlines, etc. really feels like a game genetically engineered to be as in-depth and with as much love as possible. Or perhaps I should say Mewgenically engineered. Hey, guess what? There's a massive twist to the game I haven't even talked about yet. On top of everything I've talked about the last 15 minutes, the real cherry on top that turns the game from great to a true masterpiece, I haven't even mentioned. For people who already know, they're probably thinking, why hasn't he said anything yet? And for people who don't, you're probably thinking, what are you talking about? How could this cat sex game have anything more to offer? Well, Mewgenics isn't just a video game, but in fact, it is a... Every single area in the game has a unique song that plays and dynamically changes throughout the level. Each event, treasure, shop, and battle features the same song but played with different instruments, variations, and styles as you progress. And this musicality culminates to the boss fight where the full version of the song with lyrics finally kick in, describing the battle of whatever gross, usually oversized monster you're fighting. The smooth, debonair jazz of the alleyway as you dodge rat bombs. The wailing of the surf rock guitar as you fight demons and probably literally Satan in the core. The classic Western legend ballad in the desert against the gunslinging outlaw and his fat gambling friend. The cartoonish Saturday morning slapstick singing of the labs. Every area has its own unique sound and they're all just phenomenal. The first time I got to the boss of the crater, I legitimately got goosebumps, dude. The blaring trumpets and salsa blasting in your eardrums in between the spews of acid puke and your cat's being eaten alive whole by the hulking alien space monster. The non-stop mariachi-style horns, the synthwave chords, and jazzy improvisation combined with the sheer terror of the rampaging alien is such a unique feeling. Especially when you get to the chorus and you finally hear that bombastic
Alien crater, feline invader, alien crater, feline invader, alien crater, feline invader, alien crater.
It's a game about cats and it's a musical. It's Cats the musical. Edmund, you son of a bitch, you've done it again. It is just a joy to discover the new music track for each area and what that final lyrical version will be once you reach the conclusion and end boss. The vibes are truly immaculate. But what I find most captivating about the inclusion of lyrical music is the emergent gameplay and emergent storytelling on display. The final boss of the graveyard, Diebuck? Debuck? The fuck-ass jumpy boss can be inferred to be an experiment done by Dr. Beanies. And the lyrics of his boss fight talk about cats coming back to life, zombies, skeletons, all sorts of supernatural happenings and things that go bump in the night, which is all a common thread and link to Dr. Beanis' unethical experimentation on felines of the neighborhood. We move from supernatural mutations of Earth's plant life mixing with alien life in the crater area, and then we go so high to aliens in space on the moon. The Rift alone has 3 different lyrical songs in it, bucking the trend in the game of each area only having one, which fits for an area and final boss all about literal chaos and mixing all the game's mechanics into one nightmare dimension of stress and tomfoolery. The Ice Ages song is sung in a caveman Oonga Boonga voice during the boss, but when you unlock the song for the radio back home in the modern day, it has modern day lyrics in English that take on a whole new layer of meaning. And that boss fight in the same area, which is the Cannibal Kitty Caveman, who I hate, Lord Bunga Bingus or whatever, has moves that constantly give your cats concussions, making them literally stupider and stupider the more you're hit by him. Intelligence is the stat that affects mana regeneration for abilities in combat. And if you get too dumb, your cat won't be able to read any text when events happen to it. And what's the area after Caveman Junction, you ask? It's the to Jurassic, it's Dino Town, which features a song all about being tough, survival of the fittest, the laws of nature, and how only strength matters in a violent and unpredictable world. So you literally go from fighting a boss that makes you stupider and stupider the longer you fight him, to the next area that has a song all about how being stupid is good and how only strength matters. And some abilities, like some of the fighters' punches, actually get stronger the stupider you get. God, that's amazing narrative design without actually having any real writing or dialogue or really any story at all. It's all diegetically in the gameplay mechanics and sound. Can we talk about Hitler? I wanna talk about Hitler for a second, just a second. The future is taken over by Nazis, and the boss for the area is Hitler 2.0, baby. He's back, and he's badder than ever. I just realized that Mewgenics is a better Wolfenstein game than the last Wolfenstein game that came out, and that hurts a lot. I really don't like that. As one of the 3 people who played the new Indiana Jones game, and I loved it, fantastic work, Machine Games, great job. But you guys need to like go back and finish Wolfenstein because it's been almost a decade since Wolfenstein 2, and you guys need to make a new one because this is not it, man. The funny cat sex game has Robo Hitler and doing a better job than you guys. You just need to, I am getting off track. Mecha Hitler, Uber men and women, pile driving robots, heads in jars and fetus viewers. The future is all robots and National Socialism. And your cats are here to stop it. Thus future is literally my least favorite area in the game, but it's hard not to be a little bit in awe on all the design ideas floating around. But it's also hard not to be annoyed by the Futurama head enemies giving non-stop extra turns to its allies. The pile driving robots stick you into a loop full of stuns. The bosses are ridiculously annoying as you chase them around the map. But the story it tells is one that runs parallel to the entire game. Dr. Briny doing horrible messed up stuff to his cats just cause he can in the name of science. Hitler replacing the human race with robots and only keeping humans as breeding stock or clones of himself, again, just because he can. And when said clones aren't up to snuff in the middle of his boss fight, bam, euthanasia. And just like in real history, when he's finally defeated, Hitler commits suicide in order to escape the responsibilities of his crimes against humanity, performing one last Hail Mary, shooting himself directly in the face, and then self-destructing in an act of cowardice, defiance, and one last-ditch effort to kill you and your cats. Which is exactly the kind of stuff I do whenever I have to fight Spewer. You, the player, are metaphorically the Hitler of Mewgenics. Both of you are literally performing eugenics and inflicting your will upon anyone who stands in your way with mass amounts of cartoonish violence, whether it be to cats, humans, bots, or anything in between. You spend upwards of 100 hours carefully crafting the perfect genetically enriched cat specifically for you to inflict violence and suffering upon all the monsters, people, and creatures of the neighborhood and world. One of the most, if not the most evil person in history being metaphorically compared to the person playing a video game is both kind of insane and genuinely artistically awesome, I'm not gonna lie. Hitler's not awesome, bad. No, bad. I'm saying like the artistic metaphor is this as, why am I making a video on this game? So if we're playing Mewgenics and Hitler was playing Juicegenics, am I right, folks? I cannot. That joke is way too far. I'm sorry. And to tie all of this up together, the song that plays during his boss fight mixes German and English together and sings lyrics about how horrible the future is under Hitler's robot rule. And you know what the title of that song is? Bam. Boom. Yeah. Metaphor on metaphor, baby. It's the best game ever made. And I really don't care. While the game is masterfully made, after 100 hours of meowing, I've come to find it's not quite perfect. The event system is not great, or in the very least, it's unintuitive. Many times it's not clear what an event will do, and sometimes the good outcome is worse than the bad outcome. The number of times you get a disorder or stat down or a freaking parasite or you just lose a cat or cancer or anything is shockingly high. The core of the game is about adapting to your circumstances and forging ahead and being creative in how you approach situations, and I adore that. That's basically my favorite game design philosophy. But its random grab bag of events leads to some really run-ending or near-run-ending consequences. I'm not quite sure that's 100% fair given a game that's really tightly wound with its mechanics and consequences. But while working on this video, Edmund has literally been taking feedback specifically for this issue and fixing them in other areas of the game, so like, I guess we're good. It's already being fixed. Within the runs themselves, while always finely tuned and filled with depth like we've been discussing, challenging, they're not always perfect. Story and side quest items always offer a unique way to play each run. Toss a fire orb back and forth so you don't burst into flames, a detonator that blows up all bodies but lets you kill an enemy for free, fart face, a bubble that bounces everything around upon contact, which goes about as good as you would expect it to, princess hat that makes your cat unable to move, a nuclear dagger. Quests are always extremely interesting to mix up how you play the game, and the reward for doing them is either story progression to unlock more areas, or in the case of the side quests, you receive the item that caused the wacky gimmick, but now it's fixed and buffed. The major downside to this is that once that item breaks, that's that. Then you have to wait and hope you randomly get that side quest reassigned and then recomplete it again to get it once more. Which, like, yeah, that's not bad design per se, but I really thought it would unlock into the general item pool that the game gives you for treasures and beating bosses and such. It just feels like you'll never really get to use that item again since redoing side quests isn't the most fun, you know? Even if it is a gimmicky, interesting way to play the game, do you really want to do one again when there's like a billion other ones you can do? You know, you feel me? Like, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine the way it is. I'm fine. I don't know, man, I just miss Nathan. Every boss in the game is fundamentally different from each other, and each one offers a unique and interesting challenge on how to approach fighting them. Much like a FromSoft boss, each one has its own unique set of moves, abilities, and aesthetics, and a theme song that somehow fits perfectly in a game that has dozens of drastically different builds. With 14 different classes that you can play each one like a dozen different ways, somehow you can approach every single boss in the game in a different manner. Except Man on the Moon. Man on the Moon is essentially invincible. The only way to reveal his weak point to do actual damage is to have him smack himself with his own hands. The major way of doing that is by being swallowed up by him and then forcing him to smack himself while you're inside his mouth. The major issue is by the time you get to this point in game, you've learned from Daddy Shark, Lenny, the Tormentor, Guillotina, and probably other enemies I'm forgetting that it's really bad to be grabbed or eaten. So to have a boss whose main way of defeating it would be a reversal of what you learned as a player, and the only information the player is given is a "oh" emoji and a vague suggestion that something will happen upon being swallowed, which, by the way, the forbidden spells in the game teach us that vague suggestions are often usually really bad. So I think all of that is questionable design at best. Maybe not bad per se, but it's definitely eyebrow raising. Many of the boss fights in the game do feel like a puzzle. Edmund himself implies this with the first major boss of the game acting like a puzzle in its own right. But each unique mechanic and gimmick of each individual boss, while puzzle-like, it usually isn't the only focus to it. It's still a fight. Yes, that fight happens to have some mechanic to consider and understand. Take, for example, the various enemies in, say, Doom Eternal or Doom Dark Ages. Sure, there's a specific solution to many situations like sniping parts of demon bodies in Eternal or shield parrying and shield thrusting in Dark Ages. But you can still just shoot the guys. You don't have to do any of that. Most of the bosses in Mewgenics follows this formula of, yes, there is an efficient way to defeat it, but you can still defeat it in your own way. The man with the plan feels like you sort of just have to do what it's asking, and what's asking is completely counterintuitive to everything you've learned. My first time beating him was waiting 15 turns and using poison, so maybe that is against my point here. You can still brute force the boss or cheese him with crazy builds, but this specific boss feels way more gimmicky than an actual boss fight. The Yorm or Storm King of the game, if you will. And speaking of bosses, the house bosses are an extremely fun and a fantastic way to utilize your old cats for one last hurrah as you defend your homestead from whatever manner of freak or geek that comes to challenge you. While it is tough, I did end up defeating each boss on my first attempt. Some close calls, sure, but overall the tense raid style bosses don't exactly block your progression in your game or anything. Except for the kaiju battle, it took 4 attempts to beat the kaijus, each time getting almost close to beating them. One cat left, they had like 20% of health left. It took me so long to defeat them, I got the next house boss unlocked instead. So I beat the Terminator cat and then I had to wait and go back to defeat the Rage in the Cage Rock Monster Pyromaniac Wombo combo again. I finally got them on my 4th try, but waiting 8 to 10 in-game days to even get the chance to fight them again was rough. And you have to defeat the house bosses and use their quest items to progress the game story. So because of this, I didn't unlock the rift until 80 hours into the game. Clint took 80 hours to reach the Ice Age, and that took me about 40, but we unlocked the rift at the same time because my fire and rock cat moms were fighting the custody ladder match over me. Despite the game's intense difficulty, I really do think the game is fair the vast majority of the time. Sometimes you do get something like this, or you get a bad roll on an event and you get cancer or malaria or something else insane. And when you come across moments like that, yeah, it kind of feels a little unfair to you. I'll be real with you, Twitch chat. Sorry, I meant Twitch cat. But when you have so many mechanics layered and layered and layered on top of each other with the degree of pure randomness the game has to offer, you can't always get perfect design. Near perfect, maybe. 99.1% pure perfect, perhaps, but never 100%. And that's the thing about Mewgenics. Every time you get a battle of an insanely wacky domino effect of cascading mechanics falling perfectly into place to kick you in the pants, as much as it sucks, it's impossible not to fall in love with it. That or I'm a masochist, I don't know, man. I still try the new Call of Duty game every year, even though it always hurts me. What do you want from me? Mewgenics was announced 14 years ago and took about 8 years to create. And that shows. Not in like a Duke Nukem Forever, yeah, they didn't really know what they were doing kind of way, but more so in the Half-Life Alyx, yeah, they were cooking something huge and were waiting for the perfect moment kind of way. This cat sex game is the culmination of one of the greatest game creators to ever live's entire career. His life's work distilled into an infinite combination of different looking cats humping each other in different ways, which sounds gross, and it is, but it's real, and it's raw, it's provocative, it's thought-provoking, and it's engaging, and that's what life is. That's what art is. It's brutal, it's honest, unflinching, it's funny, it can be horrific, and Hitler's there, I guess. Is Mewgenics truly a masterpiece? Is this game that has made me fundamentally rethink game design after 2 decades of studying it really as fantastical and epic as I'm making it out to be? Well, I think I'll let the creators of the game themselves answer that question.
And then after like a year, we're like, we're making something very cool here. And after 2 years, it's like, are we making the best tactical strategy game of all time? Like, is that what the potential for this game is?
Oh, I tell you what, meow.